Good morning. My birth certificate says Cotton. How's it going, everyone? Yesterday was a good day. Did a ton of recording. Not like a crazy amount of recording, but a good amount. Okay, let's start from the top with chat. Morning, good morning. Today is stocks. No, we're going to finish up commodities today, Anthony. And BVR will pop soon. What a great surprise. Well, I'm here, so good morning. I think I need to get a different setup. I don't like looking to the side to read chat. I'd rather be looking here straight ahead to be reading chat. I don't really like this straight sideways and break my neck. Look like a Jason. I'm Irish, so if there's a lot of Irish Jasons, maybe, I suppose. Her certificate says Cotton. Yeah. Want this? Not too sure about that one. Good morning. Good morning, that one. Red. Cotton, after the browbeating you gave on trading Bitcoin for income, I moved some money in and made 11% in a few hours. Thanks again. Oh, Jeff, dude. Nice, man. Congrats. That's really awesome. Man, there's like big trucks going by my house or something. Bitcoin's a bit of a bloodbath right now. Yeah, good. Had a great trading day on Bitcoin yesterday. Made a few changes to the stream overlay. I did make the chart bigger. I figured enough people were asking for it to be bigger that it warranted for it to be increased in size a bit. It does cover a bit of the bottom right though, so that's just gonna have to be how it is. I mean, I could redo the graphic a bit, I suppose, and I could actually move it like so. I could redo the graphic a bit, move my crypto sign over slightly, and I could move it right here and then put the crypto sign somewhere else. I don't think I can go too high though, to be honest with you guys. So, you know what, I bet you I could take 2 minutes and do this real quick, which we are going to do. Yeah, I know, not day trading related, but stream related, so important still. It's just a matter of finding where I save this file. That's the real problem. Aha, found it. Overlay crypto, and we are going to put it, where are we putting it? Right there. It's not going to look very good there though. We might have to just leave it where it is. Just like the colors, blue and yellow. Bit of a smarter psychological impact. Don't think we can really move this. You know what, we're just going to move it back right here, and it'll just have to cover a little bit of the, you know, we could move it up a little bit though. That's what we could do. We could move it up a bit. Let's quickly do that. Going to update this file. I know it's not, but we're still getting set up, right? So just don't worry about it. We're still getting set up and stuff. So yeah. This is in scene images. Okay, right here. Perfect. Uno momento. Now we update the overlay. Is it this one that I was using? No, it's not that one. Shit, what did I just save it as? It is that one. Okay. But that doesn't work at all, does it? So if we just move it and increase it for now, and I can mess with this later off of stream, I can mess with this later. But at least this gives us a little bit more space to look at our Bitcoin chart. I can update that later. I'll do that off screen instead of wasting time doing this right now. This is what you guys come here for, graphic design. Now we can slightly move the trading view up just a little bit so we actually can see more of this bottom corner. We'll eventually have it about there. And I'm even wondering if we can put it over here on this side, like something like that. Actually kind of works, doesn't it? Kind of works. And then we can move it up even further. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do today. So for now, we just do this, and then I will update this later. But the screen is bigger now. So a lot of people are like, oh, screen bigger. Now, there we go. Screen's bigger. Okay, let's get back to it. Their trading channel named Chart Champions? I have no idea, dude. People want, I'm not, go watch somebody else if you want. Like live callouts. I don't do that. Levels or trends. I couldn't pick between them, GC. They're equally as important. Yeah, no, I don't do live callouts like that. That's definitely not something I do. Live callouts is not yeah. The thing about live callouts is that anybody following live callouts, it's almost like you're admitting you don't know how to trade, right? It's almost like you're saying, I don't know how to trade, so I need you to do it for me, right? So that's definitely not what my grind is. I'm not here to make people money for them. I'm here to kind of change the industry and educate, right? So yeah, doing live callouts like that, yeah, no. I'll leave that to other people. If I was ever going to share my positions on like a 24/7 basis, well, first off, I wouldn't, because then other people would take my positions in front of me. I've done that before, and everybody takes my positions and I miss things by like $1 or 50 cents or 10 cents. I've had programs before like Road to 1 Million where people front run me by like, and I miss all my positions because Road to 1 Million was rather successful, and I miss all my positions and everybody else makes money except for me. So I end up spending my time making money for other people. So yeah, no, I would never do that. Okay, let me rephrase that. I would never do that again. When we had Road to 1 Million going, it was just constant. People would just people would just simply front run me by like 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. And then every like 10 other people would get filled, and I would miss the trades by like 2 or 3 cents every single time. And these trades are worth like 10, 15 grand a pop. It's not like I'm missing $100, $200. For me, those trades are worth like 10, 15 grand a hit. So like when I'm doing that and other people are front running me, it's costing me like anywhere from $2,500 per trade, which was happening multiple times a day, to like $5,000-$10,000 a trade. It's just not worth it. I would never do that. If people need to, yeah, I have a pretty strong stance on that about like sharing trades. I think that's so stupid. He's just showing his profits. That's kind of pointless though, isn't it? Isn't that just like ego bragging? Or even if, I don't know if his profits are good or not, but isn't that just kind of like, what's the point of that? Seems weird. That's all I'm going to say. Seems weird. To not share your trades, but then to show the profits on the trades you already made. That's kind of weird. I'm assuming his profits are kind of like $80 here, $100 there, $200 here, maybe $300 or $400 there, something like that. Although I'm not sure. I have no clue who this person is. I have no clue what markets they're trading, what leverage. I have no idea. I'm just, typically when you see that, you're going to see people with smaller bankrolls doing that. I would never. Also, for tax reasons, I'm not sharing my positions. I'm not sharing the profits I make. Well, that doesn't sound like a good idea at all. If you're only making like 30 or 40 grand a year day trading, then I don't really see a problem with sharing your profits. But when you start pushing up in income, I don't think it's a good idea to be showing that to the public eye. People don't have to follow me if they don't want. People see you're earning money from your science and they will follow you. Yeah, no, I'm good, dude. Nice, good suggestion though. Thank you for the input. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin doing exactly what we were hoping for, and it did exactly what we wanted it to. Burned right to the ground. Hey Pickles, what's up, dude? Yeah, it again, just going back to what we were trading. What was that on Tuesday? I believe it was. How's your ear? Better, actually. It's not bothering me. Thanks for asking, man. Yeah, going back to Tuesday, I guess we were talking about, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, but anyways, basically we said, you know, if you're entering here, you'd be entering on this trend. It's going to attack this trend. We can go to a smaller time frame so you can actually see the breakdown of this move. Yeah, going right back to this trade, back from Tuesday and taking that short there. I did exactly what we thought, and talking about like, why would you buy this trend? Like, why would you short the break of this trend? It doesn't really make sense when you can be shorting the break of the move on the higher time frame, right? So yeah, I mean, the trade executed perfectly, right to every single target we had, and really our first target in this trade was talking about if this short executed, it would go down to here. So really, that was like the trade right there. So that's 12%. Yeah, and that was it right there. So if I know there's a bunch of people who took that short when I first called it out on Tuesday, hopefully you guys stayed in it, or, you know, whatever you did with it, congrats if it hit target, because yeah, it pulled back to target pretty perfectly here. It did break down one more level, but yeah, it did pull back to target pretty perfectly. 15%, boy. So if you use leverage on that, that would have been like close to 40K. That's like a yearly salary in 2 days. That's like a 40K trade right there. So that's pretty decent. Is that 40K 16%? So what is that? 25,000 is 10. Add another 12.5 and another 2,500. So that's 15. Yeah, it's actually 40K. Wow, nice math, Cotton. Yeah, it's like 40K trade. So that's pretty good. And then yesterday I caught a bunch of stuff in here. So you know, this is the level that we were talking about. So we had this marked out for the remainder of the week past that day. So we had this marked out on Tuesday, and we we're talking about you know, this is target, possibly consider taking along here. So I took a few trades in here, and yeah, made about 4 or 5%. So it was good. There was a few trades to be had pretty quickly on this thing. I show it in my video that I just recorded actually for Saturday. So yeah, just a couple easy trades in here, and yeah, Bitcoin broke down. Easy peasy stuff, man. I don't short without leverage. I always trade with leverage. I always put my stop loss 1% below liquidation. Sorry, 1 point below liquidation, not 1%. 1% would be like where you entered, basically. I don't think you guys will ever see anybody who's making substantial amounts of money share their positions. I think this is limited to people who are only making smaller incomes. I think this is like a testament to how experienced somebody is. I think like that's something to realize for newer traders, that if you're looking at a channel and they're sharing their profits, they're probably not making more than 6 figures a year doing this. Now, that's not a guarantee, but it's just like, why would anybody publicly post their trading positions when you have to do things like accounting every year? Like that's like a recipe for disaster. That's like a recipe to get audited. That's just like, whoa, guess what? You're getting audited. That's it. Just doesn't. I don't think you guys will ever like. Okay, so for new traders, I think that's like a dead giveaway on someone's experience level if they're sharing their trades publicly, for just no reason. Like, dead giveaway. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Edward. Full streamer mode with the ambient lighting. Yeah, man, got to make it look nice. Former CRA auditor. Truth. It's just like I always say to everybody, you know, pay your taxes, report your. That's why I trade through my bank, because you know what, I just simply my bank keeps all my records. I give it to my accountant gives it to the income tax agency, and that's it. It's just plain and simple. Pay your taxes. It doesn't make sense to skirt it to avoid it. And yeah, it's just like, I think it's a testament to somebody's expertise in this field. How long have they been around? How proven is their work? And then like, are they sharing trades live? Those 3 questions should answer like how good they are. If they're sharing live trades, like you got to realize these guys aren't making more than 6 figures, because I don't know anybody who would publicly disclose their trading history. Like that is crazy. You're like, that's what hedge funds have to do. And even they, well, I'm not going to say they don't do it, but even they like begrudgingly do it, right? So like, why would, unless you're trying to be like an influencer and just like build some kind of following, which fine, but that doesn't mean you're a day trader. Like there's a difference between being an influencer pretending to be a day trader and being a day trader trying to be an influencer. There's a big difference there, right? So yeah, I think that's like pretty common sense stuff. I wonder if Jeff is actually a former CRA auditor. That'd be pretty cool if you are. I know a few. They're it's interesting. I know a few CRA auditors, and you would never expect them to be CRA auditors. Some of them are like the coolest guys. You think, oh, you're a tax auditor. You got to be this weird guy who wears a bow tie, and nothing wrong with bow ties, but just the stereotype of an auditor, right? But no, actually, all the people I know who work for CRA, super cool. Yeah, super cool guys. Do you believe in the 2% bankroll trade management? I'm not sure what that is. Or do you risk much more? I don't know what that, the 2% bankroll trade management. I'm assuming you're saying like only trade with 2%. So I think that's a very linear way to look at it. I think if you're looking at trading with your bankroll with 2%, I think that's like, how can I say it? I think that is like having, how can I say this? I think that's a very static rule. That is just like a broad statement, like just saying, okay, let's have a 2% bankroll management trade technique. It's such a linear way to do it. It's so partially phased that it just can't be applicable for every scenario. I think if you're just first starting trading and you want to take this blanket rule of 2% per trade, I think that's okay. I think it's okay to say, oh, you can take 2% per trade, but I think there's a lot of dynamics behind bankroll management and the sizing you should do on your trades. I think there's a difference whether you're trading with your crypto funds, whether you're trading with Forex, whether you're trading commodities. Like I think it depends as an origin what that money represents at a base level. So the stem of that bankroll management, like if all you have is 10 grand in crypto and you have nothing else, well, you should be more careful than somebody who's diversified across different markets and has the ability to maybe risk more or lose more because they have different funding sources to back their gains and their losses. And then I also think you have to, and that's just like the first layer of it. So when you start creating these layers of, okay, how should I tackle bankroll management? You know, where's your money in the exchanges, right? Like how much money do you have in what exchanges? Is this your complete bankroll you're trading with? Are you subdividing this into categories? What is the potential profit on that 2% risk versus what is the potential loss on that 2% risk? So I think really creating an elaborate system makes more sense than saying, oh, well, 2%, you know, let's just trade with 2%. And as a blanket rule, I think this works. I think this is good advice for like brand new traders. But I think as we evolve as traders, you definitely have to start looking at, okay, where can you build a system for yourself that makes sense in terms of bankroll management? Because that's very basic. Like my bankroll management system is extremely complex, and it goes all the way to affecting where I put my stop losses in trades. So it goes all the way from multiple sources of different accounts into the percentages I'm willing to risk, into the leverage, and the leverage I'm trading with scales that, and then that affects my stop loss. My daily profits and the amount of hours I'm trading a day affects that. In terms of how much I'm willing to risk. So I think there's a very elaborate picture, a very elaborate schema you can create. And I think just saying, okay, 2%, this is a good rule for new traders, because it allows them to have something to hold on to realize, okay, I shouldn't be losing too much money in these markets. Win rate, so you're talking about strike percentage. I don't follow that too much, Rise. I used to record like they call it your strike rate in trading. So I used to record my strike rate like constantly. When I was back analyzing on my work, I would like constantly follow my strike rate. Now it's just bank account. That's all I care about. Where do I think Bitcoin will go next? I'm going to take a look today. Definitely going to take a look today. Yeah, so you strike rate, that's a good one. Strike rate is cool, but I think I think that's skewed too. So like I honestly, guys, I really think the industry needs a complete overhauling of the way everything in day trading works. I think it's very, very archaic, to be honest. So like we're talking about a lot of these things today, like the 2% rule. What's your win percentage? And then the next question is going to be, I know the next question already is going to be, well, I've heard you can be profitable if you only make 30% winning trades and 70% losing trades. And yeah, that's true. These are like very archaic formulas that have never been evolved. There are formulas and things that have been around for like 20, 30 years where, the idea is that, we can win 20 or 30% of the time and be profitable traders. That means we just have to control the losses in the 70%. These are extremely archaic. These are like 20-year-old, 30-year-old theories that have been evolved and just not talked about by better traders. So I think this is something that I'm really excited to share with you guys in the future through the trading life. I'm going to be sharing a lot of this stuff, but I think it's very archaic, like thinking about strike rate. That's a very skewed term, just in the origin of its meaning. When you start to say, oh, what's your strike rate? Well, what does strike rate matter when you have an income at the end of the day? Would you rather have a good strike rate or a good income, right? So then you get into bankroll management, then you get into how to manage your positions properly and where's your stop losses. So it's all this big intertwined mesh of topics that work together. But I think these are very unevolved ideas and theologies that have never been kind of progressed forward in the public eye. Maybe behind closed scenes, there's like crazy traders out there who have created their own systems, but they don't share those. Like I've created my own systems. I don't share those. I'm going to, but I don't, because it's just like, it's more valuable for me to keep them to myself. Like yesterday, for example, I made almost 10K yesterday trading. So like, why would I share anything, right? But again, at the same point, I'm in this for a different reason. So yeah, I guess the whole point of this rant is, I think a lot of these terms are archaic, and I'm really excited that I'm going to get to share some of my secrets and things like that this year with you guys. Do trading life and some of these other things. Mastering your free videos. Yeah, I think it's enough. I don't know how to say your name. Jordy. Jordy, I think, yeah, it's enough for sure. It just depends on what your expectations are. Like you can't go start, take future trading, go 100x leverage, derivatives, futures, 2,500 spot positions, but that's what butterfly effect is. Hey, in case I missed it, is BTC going to retest the 30K? Well, it just tested our level today. It's 29,000. So it just tested this, and we're going to see what's happening here. It could still be failing its range right now, meaning that it's going to be moving down a bit more. You're changing my life. I'll definitely write to thank you privately and tell you what I'm experiencing through your teachings. Oh, definitely. I'd love to hear personal stories. MVM, do it up, man. I'll be waiting. Georgie, like from my team. Okay, Georgie. Yeah. What did I say? Jordy? Oh no, isn't Georgie? Is it Georgie? Okay, Georgie. What did I say? Jordy? Oh, that's a J. I thought it was okay, it doesn't matter. My eyes suck. I'm getting excited for winning $5. It doesn't matter the amount. Sometimes we have to do what's called an accuracy test. And in trading, an accuracy test shows you how sharp you are in the moment. So whether it's like $1, $5, $5,000 a trade, sometimes an accuracy test is more important and more valuable than what would be, oh, I won $100 on a trade. So I've heard other traders talk about when the dollar is weak, that's good for trading Bitcoin. That's just like beyond silly thinking. That's so far from the truth. It's not even funny, Charlie. I don't know where that idea comes from, and I don't know who's saying that, but I can guarantee you that's not true. No worries. Oh, Montreal, dude, fellow Canadian. Hey, man. I know quite a few people from Montreal. Yeah, so good piece of advice. I think you guys should break away from these archaic things that are in the industry. Like, one of my driving factors in day trading, so people ask, like, how did I become successful? Well, I don't have anybody that taught me, because I taught myself. I don't have anybody that I mentored or learned from, because I reverse engineered all this stuff myself. But one of my driving factors is that I like to break the mold of the things that are out there. So when I was reverse engineering this stuff, it was like really important for me to kind of break things. Almost like, imagine you're playing Path of Exile or Diablo, and you're trying to make a new build, and you're trying to min-max it and think of things that other people haven't thought of yet, right? Like, you're trying to like Path of Exile is a good example. If you guys know that video game, there's all these sorts of different ways. It's very much like Diablo. There's all these sorts of different ways when that game first came out that you could create things that hadn't been created yet, different builds that had never been thought of. Everybody thought this was the best build. It was the ZDPS or whatever it was. It was like the best build there was. You got to think of trading theories like that just because you haven't been told them, or just because they haven't been discovered yet, doesn't mean that they don't exist. It just means that you don't see them yet. So that's always been one of my big things, is like break the mold and really strip things back to the core and find out from theory crafting standpoint, like, okay, why does this make sense? I think that's like a really good idea to have that in your mind when you're thinking about trading in general, and like these rules, like bankroll management, 2% rule, the dollar's correlated with Bitcoin. Bitcoins are correlated with altcoins, right? I'm always reverse engineering, Rick. I can never stop. Not only because I'm addicted to it, but because there's like a lot of people who rely on me, even outside of what I do here. Companies that, the charts are still evolving every day. In 15 years, they're going to be different again. And I've already started to work on the next form of the science. So yeah, I'm never going to stop working on this stuff. Yes, Charlie. If you do the annual, you lose the course credits because you're basically trading them in for a blueprint. What do I think about Elliott Wave? Nothing. It's garbage, useless. I have no clue who Charting Man Dan is. Sorry, Charlie. That's just a recipe for disaster. John recently came up with an innovative tax evasion technique where I would send crypto to my... This has got to be a debate. I recently came up with okay, well, we're going to entertain this. I recently came up with an innovative tax evasion technique where I would send my crypto to my relatives overseas, and they will send me cash in Canada. You don't pay tax on gifted money. That's just like a recipe to go to jail, dude. I would not recommend that. Just pay your taxes, man. If you don't like paying your taxes because it's like taking too much out of your pocket, just simply make more money. You don't have a limit in day trading. So just, if you're making 6 figures a year, if you're making like 100K a year and you're only making 50 after taxes, then just go make 200. Just put more hours in. There's no reason why anybody can't make just more money in day trading. I don't know if there's any science that helped me reverse engineer it. Sepher, I call you Sepher. I don't know if that's right, but I don't know if there's any. I think it's just the way my brain works. Yeah, I don't know how I did it, guys. Staring at the charts, just starting to draw lines and just starting to figure these things out on my own. Like I've been doing this for over a decade now. So like it didn't come to me overnight. It took me a long time. I get a lot of the same questions. Yeah. Would this count as breaking the mold? Yeah, definitely. It's amazing. So exact. Oh man, you need to see butterfly effect if you think that's exact. Butterfly effect is yeah, 100x to the cent. That's butterfly effect, and it works. Move to Saudi Arabia, no tax. Yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on the country you live in, right? Like it's how you look at problems. It's the same kind of mind like Elon Musk. It's like trying to just peel back the layers and recreate something that in a smarter, better way. It's evolution, right? It's the only way to put it. It's evolution. It's trying to evolve something and make it better, faster, stronger. Like that's one of my big things, is that I want to be the person who evolves the markets, like the grandfather of modern technical analysis. I figure if I do this for another 15 years publicly, and I can continuously prove my theories, and I can continuously, because you guys got to realize, like the stuff that I talk about is completely theoretical and conceptual. Like it's things that I've created and invented. It's not like none of this stuff exists out there. This is like patent pending, copyright, right? Like this is theories that I've created. So like my grind is that one day in 15 years, if I keep doing this, which I'm on that path because I've already been doing this for 10 years. You know, I'm already working with big, huge companies and things like that. But if I keep doing this, then one day I'll be known as like the grandfather of modern technical analysis. Hopefully, like it's a big, ambitious goal, and it doesn't really mean anything other than I get that title. But then like I can pass these skills on to my son, and I live a very good life because of it. But you know, one day maybe I'll be known as the grandfather of modern technical analysis. But who knows? It's just a very ambitious goal that I have, and I figure I need to do like 15 or 20 more years. And when I have gray hair and I'm ready to retire, then maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to be known as that. But who knows? But because these are all theories and concepts and things like I'm creating. And, you know, 2021, this stuff is hitting the markets for the first time, right? Like I've known this stuff for a long time, but now I'm releasing it, right? So like 2021, and these theories are hitting the markets for the first time, right? Future of trading is actually very basic compared to the other stuff that I know and that's out there. So imagine how advanced future of trading feels. And then imagine 5 and 6 courses deeper down the line, right? So like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna see how things go. My thoughts on tax. Up your risk with a tax percent. There's a big conversation around taxes, right? Like it's big conversation there. There's a way to defer your taxes. There's a way to have sheltered taxes. Like there's just like you just pay your taxes. Like that's the only thing I can say. Pay your taxes and you know, work out those schemas with your accountant. I'll release some videos on it in the future and in the near future, because I know a lot of people are trying to start out day trading. Man, we might as well just friggin' turn this into like an AMA. It's not even, we're not even day trading or doing charts. We're just doing AMA, but that's okay, I guess. Yeah, that's cool. I don't mind doing some AMA. Look at that. Steve Trudeau, taxation. Yeah, I mean, that's politics, man. I'm not the biggest fan of Justin Trudeau either, but yeah, that's politics, right? Like that's, I think this whole Keystone pipeline they did was silly from the start. I think they should be investing in children and not trying to create an economy based on oil. I think that's so silly. In a world that's pushing towards clean, renewable energy and net zero emissions, like why are you guys pushing an oil pipeline? But hey, what do I know? I'm a day trader. I don't get involved in these things. I don't swim in that pool. I'm just a day trader, man. I just work by money, magic money, or magic with money. No, magic money. That's a special type of money. That's crypto. Yeah, I'm just a day trader. So what do I know about these things? Move to Puerto Rico. I've heard nice things about Puerto Rico. We can all do the same thing. Yeah, I don't know if that's... So what does this say? Just different access points of the mind? Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure. It's a new thought to me. I guess so. Your thoughts on task, up your risk with a tax. You know, a lot of the money you lose in trading, as long as you're doing your accounting properly and as long as you're set up for it, if you lose like 25 grand in trading, because you wanted to make more money and took more risk, you know, like that's a write-off at the end of the year when if you've lost money trading at the end of the year, like that's a write-off. So it's not always bad to up your risk. You just have to be set up for it properly. Not sure what works. You've seen it play out on the charts. You're talking about Elliott wave? That doesn't work, dude. Just coincidence. I'm not sure if you're talking about Elliott wave, but if you are, it's just like coincidence. Unless you're talking about my science. Yeah, my science works, dude. My science is, yep. Did you already go with your own theories back when you started trading? Yep, from day one. I was basically trying to break things from day one. I saw what was on the charts. I started to figure it out, and I'm like, okay, how can I break this to evolve it? You already are. Thanks, Devin. I hope so. Very nice compliment. Thank you so much. I'm not still doing Road to 1 million, no. You want to be the grand pickle of TA? No laws in India for crypto. But it's not about crypto. It's not about crypto. It's about day trading and taxes. So there's like, you can say, oh, here's crypto. How do you get that money in your bank account though? Like, this is the same thing that every trader has these like wild dreams about, like, oh, I'm trading crypto, so there's no taxes. But it's like, yeah, there may not be taxes on crypto, but can you pay your mortgage with crypto? No, you have to use money. So real money, not fake internet money. So then when you go to put the crypto in your bank, it's taxable. So there's no avoiding it. You may not make money on crypto, but then it's just like a barter trade. It's like a Pokemon card. Like a Bitcoin is like a Pokemon card. You can trade it to somebody else. If you go to a BMW dealership and say, hey, I want the new M3. Are you willing to take crypto? And they say yes, then fine. It would just be like going and trading a Pokemon card with your neighbor for a sandwich. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a tool of barter, right? Unless it's an asset, a car is an asset. So then you're going to pay taxes on it either way. So even if you could use Bitcoin for that, like you can use Bitcoin to go buy your groceries or, you know, pay for lunch, kind of these under the table transactions, but good luck buying a car. You can't claim that as an asset, which means you can't insure it. So you can't drive it if you can't insure it. So like, what's the point? Because you can own it without insurance and you can't drive without insurance. So it could sit in your garage and you could never use it. If you just did like, oh, let me pay for this car in crypto because we're like doing a trade transaction, right? So we're still paying taxes on it, guys. Seems I can't move past the 4th video from beginner's course. MVM, you have to move past that video. You have to get to the advanced series. You have to get to future of trading because the knowledge evolves over time. It doesn't stay static. It's not like, okay, the beginner's course is meant to break you into it. The advanced course is still very rudimentary in knowledge. You need to push past that and go through future of trading. Push as hard as you can and don't get too stuck on the beginners and advanced course. I tell that to everybody. Butterfly effect section 1, does that teach you enough leverage trading to be profitable? I think section 1 is like insanely good. This is always going to be different for every trader, Charlie. The only thing I can say is the more education you have, the better you're going to do. That's all I can say. You might be able to leverage trade 100x on FOT. I doubt it, but maybe. You might need butterfly effect section 3 to leverage trade 3%. Every trader is different. There's too many variables there. Like there's mental analysis, there's bankroll management. There's too many variables to say like, oh, butterfly effect can just turn the switch. That's not realistic thinking. As much as I would love to sell a copy of butterfly effect because I charge a lot of money for it, I wouldn't recommend it to people and just say, oh, buy it and you're going to be instantly profitable overnight. Although that's my thoughts and ideas with the course. Everybody's different. What do I do for passive income? Day trade, man. That's all I do for income. Let's do charts. You want to learn more TA? We will soon. In Belgium, banks don't let you have a bank account if you trade crypto. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's perfectly fair and normal. That's the bank's right to do that. And I think it's perfectly fine. Bitcoin about to hit the downtrend. Whew. Should we short it? There's so much chat here. You guys are popping off. I go away for a day. Okay, I'm going to hammer through this. Canada's a good country. Just don't take it for granted. We generally get what we pay for in taxes. Just try to pay as little tax as possible. Yeah, I agree. It's an amazing country, and you pay your taxes for things like a good economy, a good streets being cleaned, snow being shoveled, garbage being picked up. You pay your taxes for where you live and you get what you pay for, right? So it's just like, it is what it is. You want to live in a nice house? I live in a nice house. You want to live in a nice house? You got to pay your taxes on it. It's simple. Taxes aren't the enemy. People think the tax man is the enemy. It's not the enemy. It's what countries run off of. The taxes are not terrible. They suck. Trust me, guys, I pay like 6 figures, and we're not talking about like $100,000.10. I pay like a high 6-figure amount in taxes every year. It sucks, but I do it with a smile on my face because I know that I live in a good place, and I know that, you know, when I pay my taxes, I get to live a certain lifestyle free, right? Like it's worth it. Taxes aren't fun to pay, but they're a necessity in life. It is what it is. Should a beginner day trader focus on fiat pairs? I think you should focus on spot as a beginner day trader. Just short, like small positions in spot to just get your feet wet. Yes, Thomas, this TA has been around for since charts had lines on them. It's been here for 60 years, and people would have said the same thing 40 years ago and 30 years ago and 20 years ago. I've heard it myself for a century. When I first started, I like, oh, is TA going to be as lucrative now as it is going to be in 10 years? TA will never be controlled by bots. It's an evolving market. It's like a game of chess. It'll never be controlled by bots. Imagine technical analysis is like a chessboard, and every time anybody moves one piece, the chessboard expands one length on either side. You move a pawn up one spot, the chessboard just grew bigger. You move your opponent moves a pawn, now you've got 2 rows bigger. 10 moves down the line, now the board is 10 pieces bigger. It's constantly evolving. It'll never be run completely by bots because it's not a formula like a vaccine. It's not agent X and agent Y equals composition that cures something. It's not like that. It's when the technicals evolve, other things are introduced and broken. Like I can't see technical analysis ever being completely discovered. It's not a math, right? It's not a calculated point like a variable such as poker, where there's a certain amount of variables that have to be introduced. And then there's a software like Poker Snowy comes out that kind of cracks because our algorithms and our computers have gotten strong enough to crack these algorithms. It's not like that. It's not math points. It's data points, theory, evolution, and the things that human beings decide. So it will never be figured out. I heard the same story 10 years ago that, oh, it's done. There's no more technical analysis because quant trading is coming. Well, look at quant trading. That's a freaking joke. Quant trading, bot trading, that stuff's all a joke. None of it works. It's all garbage. There's like very little amount of quant trading that works, and it's so razor thin, the profits, because big players are just changing the market. So you have a quant fund running off of old rules. Yeah, good luck. It will never change. They've been saying that since like the 80s that, oh, it's about to change, computers are coming out. And now we have like quant computing. It doesn't matter. Quant funds off quant computing. Like that's not going to do anything. Passwords can be cracked because there's like data associated with them. There's a certain amount of variables that can just be figured out. Trading is not like that because the variables change. It doesn't work like that. Okay, I'm skipping like every 5 messages. I'm only going to read the good ones now. You're talking about my science. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Crypto Salamander. Short Binance without leverage. Yeah, you can. You would just be like spot shorting it. A lot of countries you pay capital gains, same as stonks. Yep, agreed. So you don't pay taxes on trading, but you're going to pay taxes on your income, right? I don't think Bitcoin's here to stay, to be honest. Any key takeaways? Okay, that's not the right thing to say. I think Bitcoin is here to stay. I think crypto is here to stay. Let's put it that way. I think crypto is here to stay. I don't think Bitcoin's going to be like a currency that we use in the future. Why do you drive an M3, not an M8? I love M3s. I don't like the 2-door M4. The M8 is a little too luxurious for me. I still like a vehicle that's kind of like street nice. I would also drive a Skyline before I drove a Bentley or like a Phantom. I would drive like a Skyline or an M3 before I drove like a Phantom, just because I like that kind of street tuner car. I like tuner cars, and I'm not too much into like Diablos, Phantoms, Ferraris. Just not my thing. I kind of like street tuners. Like I grew up building motorcycles and Jeeps with my dad, and we used to like tune up the Jeeps and rebuild motorcycle engines and stuff like that. So I kind of have that tuner mentality. I've just always been like that. F80 is a principle of motor engineering design. Agreed. F80 is like one of my favorite vehicles. The F80 platform is the M3, the last generation M3. Markets evolve and future trading techniques be outdated. Maybe one day. I don't think that day is coming anytime in the next 10 years, but maybe one day, or in the next 5 years, I should say, but one day. Everything is correlated. Altcoins are, everything's correlated with Bitcoin. Please just watch and stop talking. Yeah, I don't mind the question. It's Friday. I'm chilling. I'm having my coffee. I recorded all day yesterday. I got 2 videos coming out, by the way, tomorrow, guys. 2 exclusive videos. Not Future of Trading, not Beginner's Course Remastered, not Advanced Course Remastered. I've got a surprise for you guys tomorrow. A new video in a new series, technical analysis. Not technical analysis, I shouldn't say that, but it is technical analysis related. Highly valuable. 10 out of 10 in terms of value. I got a new video coming out for you guys. Two videos, two brand new. So Trading Life is coming out tomorrow. So new Trading Life is coming out tomorrow. I won't spoil the topic. But you guys will have to wait till tomorrow. And then after that, a first time for my YouTube channel release. So I'm very excited. And the value is 10 out of 10. It's not some bullshit like, look at my chair review. And that's not bullshit either, but it's just not something that's, you know, it's not something that's, like, oh, here's look at my new couch and I love this fabric, or, you know, here's my whatever. It's value 10 out of 10 tomorrow. Pay your taxes and be smart about it. I like answering these tax questions because a lot of people think taxes are the enemy and governments are the enemy. And, you know, I agree that there's some gray areas where governments could be improved, but that's like everything. Like, could you not be a better husband to your wife? Could you not be a better father to your children? Could you not be a better human being to your own body? Could you not be nicer to your parents? Like, is the government bad? Yes. Are you the perfect human being? No. Is the government a perfect system? No. Are they there to protect you generally? Yes. Are paying taxes fun? No. Are they necessity? Yes. Are they good? Yes. Again, I couldn't agree more with people in chat saying this. Pay your taxes and be smart about it. You can always figure out ways to pay a little less while staying within the confines of what the government sets out as legal rules. I completely agree with that. It's exactly how I do things. Pay your taxes, learn the system so that you can find better, smarter ways to have those taxes be deferred for you within legal confines, right? Like, that's how it is. What books do you recommend? Nothing. There's no books out there that are teaching this stuff. One day I'll write a book and then I'll recommend that one. LLC in the US, that's a good piece of advice. I don't live in the US, so I don't know the tax system, but that may be something worth looking into for sure. BTC store value, 0, as much as people are willing to pay for it. What do you think about Porsche? I think Porsche has nice vehicles. I think it depends on the vehicle. Like, GT3s are nice, and I think there's a couple really nice Porsche platforms, but I think you pay a lot for the nicer platforms. Tesla cars, not too big of a fan of Tesla in terms of a sports car. I'm a sports car kind of guy, like European and Japanese muscle cars. Like, I like Skylines and Supras and, you know, my M3s, and a few Lexuses are okay. I'm not a huge fan of Lexuses, but I like Japanese and European street cars. Audis, I love Audis. Even like the 90s supercar era. I love that stuff. Tesla, I think, is really cool as a product. As a personal purchase, I don't think I would buy Tesla. But they're a good product. Thoughts on smart money concepts? I'm not too familiar with that. I'm sure I've heard about it, but I just don't know what it means exactly. I don't know how to answer that without knowing a bit of a more narrowed down question. BMW is much better than Bentley. Love Astons though. Aston Martins. Yeah, Aston Martins are nice. Evolution of a chart. At cars already. Yeah. 19 years old. Been trading for about a year. Discovered your channel. Fast forward to long-term portfolio. 6 figures in trading. 5 figures. Thank you. Oh, that's amazing, dude. You're young and you're killing it. That's so cool, man. Congrats. I'm glad I helped you get there. Keep it up, man. Keep pushing. You'll be at 7 figures. Keep pushing, man. You're young. You got time. I have not, Max. I have to email them because the Keychron referral that I have is like tied to my personal name. So I have to, I would say if you're dying to buy it, dude, I wish I had it faster for you, but I don't. If you're dying to buy it, just, I'm sure you can Google a promo code that would give you the same. I would love to get the clout for it from Keychron because I'd love to set up like something with them. But if you're dying to get it and you don't want to wait on me because I have to wait for an email back from them, just get it and just Google somebody for Keychron reference. You save the 10% or whatever. But if you don't mind waiting, I'd love to give you my code. Can't wait for your chair review. House will be built at the end of the. Oh, Anthony, you're gonna love next month. Then, oh, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you're gonna love next month's content. Hey, we've actually caught up on chat almost. Yeah, altcoins always go down when Bitcoin goes down. Definitely, they do. They definitely do. Romans bread and wine or whatever it's called. No, I'm gonna do another. It's very interesting. Is it wine and taxes? Maybe it's called wine and taxes. Oh, my brain just wine and taxes documentary. Hold on. Is this it? Wine and taxes? Damn. I need to find this because you know what? That's true. I was supposed to look for this and I didn't have time. Let's try wine and taxes. Wine and taxes. What if we put documentary on it? Wine and taxes. Bread and taxes, is it maybe? Bread and taxes? Bread and taxes documentary? Rise and fall of sour, bro. Bread and circus. Here it is. I think this is it. Bread and circus? Bread and circus documentary. Is this what it is? Or bread and games? Or wine and games, maybe? No, bread. It's not. That's not. It's something like this. Damn it. What is it called? Rome's bread and circuses. Is this it? No, this is a 2-minute little video. Bread and games, maybe? Oh, I wish I knew the name of this. You know, I have a way to find it because it was linked to me a long time ago by somebody. You know what? Screw it. We're going down the rabbit hole, guys. We're going down the rabbit hole. I know how I can find this because I can go and look at my conversation history with a person years and years back who sent this to me. I keep everything. Oh my god, we have so much adding we do. This is gross. We're gonna be here for a while. I hope not. I just want to get this done. The guy who sent it to me is a bit of a conspiracy theorist, so he loves anything to do with like breaking systems or like you know what's going to be the worst if I go through this and I realize that it was on a voice call that we that he told me about it, and then God, this stream is terrible. It's running it into the ground. It's not that bad. Gives me more time to waste time because chat's going to blow up again, and then I'm going to not be able to keep up with chat. And then we're never going to chart. It's going to be noon, and we're going to be sitting here not charting. The boiler room speech, that was a cool one. Is this it? No. Oh God, let's not go there. Entertainment value 10 out of 10. This is important. You guys should watch this. It's really interesting. It gives you guys a good understanding of the way money flows in the world and where this flow of money and the way it runs, which is directly relatable to crypto, by the way. The flow of money and how it runs. It's really interesting where this was created back in the Roman times. The idea of taxes. Like, I swear to God, it's called bread and taxes or wine and bread or like bread and circus or something like that, or taxes and circus. But there's a really good documentary that the History Channel did on. I believe it was a History Channel. Okay, we've got like 5 more seconds. If I can't find it, I'll find it later. I got Russian links. I got cars in here. I've got just stuff. Just stuff. I swear to God, it's called bread and taxes or bread and circus or circus and taxes. God. Okay, 5 more seconds. If we don't find it, we're done. I've scrolled through like thousands of messages trying to find this stupid thing. You guys can go blame whoever mentioned this, because like I said, I'm like a dog. You know, a car drives by and I chase it. Okay, another time. I'm gone back like a year in conversation. There's so much. There's just so much there. Okay, forget it. Look, you guys didn't type anything. Now I can actually catch up on this. Great. BMW E9, like the E92. Yeah, those are nice. I have a Lexus. It's not that I hate Lexuses. I have a Lexus. Bull run an alt season. It's just a term people use to try to justify what they don't understand. Bread and games, is that what it is? Bread and games, that sounds about right. But it's like the same idea of bread and circus. Like all of these look familiar, but I'm looking at them and they're only 2 minutes long each. Like I want to find the actual link. Like this looks like it, but it's a minute long. So how can this be it? Is this a minute or an hour and 30 minutes? This is 1 minute. No, this is not it. But it's something very much like that, like bread and games, bread and circus. Like it's got to be like bread and circus, right? Something like that. Okay, anyway, we're moving on. I'll be here all day looking for this stupid thing. Like it's already 8 o'clock. We haven't even touched charts yet. Yikes, dude. Bread and circuses. Okay, we can try that. $40 minutes. I wonder if this is it. But I wrote this off because it's got this weird Donald Trump picture on it. Yeah, this is it. Bread and circuses. Yeah, this is a great documentary. Here, I'll link it in chat. This is what I was talking about. Bread and circus. This was on my screen the whole time, and I was like, no, this can't be it. Not an E92, an E9? What year is that, E9? Oh, 68 to 75. Those are old school, man. That's like when BMW first... American Bread and Circus. Yep. Hidden Secrets of Money. Yeah, that's what... There it is right there. Yeah, I would, John, for sure. Okay, let's get to it. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like slow as a rock right now anyways. It's not doing anything. Let's move on. We caught up on chat. Trust me, I won't always be answering chat this avidly, guys. When we actually start the morning show, it's going to be like a 45-minute morning, and that's it. We go through all the charts and it's done. So let's enjoy it while we have it. The AMA kind of style right now is a little, you know, it's a little long-winded, but we won't have this soon because it's just going to be a morning show, 45 minutes in the morning, and that's it. It's not like a stream where it's, you know, we're just sitting here chilling and chatting. I got monies to make and I got content to put out. So yeah, we're not always going to have this luxury of just chilling and talking. So let's just enjoy it, I suppose. Okay, Bitcoin. Do we like the larger screen, by the way? I did increase it based on people's feedback there. The size of the screen in the chart. I just only trade Bitcoin because it's more money. You don't have to only trade Bitcoin, but it's definitely more money. Much better. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay that the bottom right corner is a little cut off, and I'm going to change all the scenes and increase their sizes a little bit. I'm going to work on this today as well. So bigger? No. We are not going to go any bigger than this, otherwise it's going to cut off too much of the chart. Yeah, okay, so Bitcoin, very straightforward, guys. Again, what we already talked about today, we'll just quickly go over again. The trade existed back here, right? Like your trade existed back here when you broke this local trend and it was starting to ladder the move down. So your trade existed here. You either shorted the rejection of the move up top here, which was also a pretty easy short because it's just laddering the move. So you could have caught it very here up at like 37.9 pretty easily if you just played the ladder on the move. And yeah, like we were talking about on Tuesday, like we were talking about on Wednesday, like you would never play these trends. You know, rewind back to Wednesday when we were kind of like this and we broke the trend. Like this would have been in the morning there. Like what was this, on the 19th we were looking at this? I think we were, yeah. So like even rewind back further, right? Like we would have been like right here in the move, and rewind back to the beginning of the weekend. It was just very simple. We drew these other trends to just as an example of what you wouldn't play, because this is the trends it's going to attack. And really, if you were going to take a trade here, the trade existed on this trend break. And so fine, it broke trend, it tested this trend, held that trend, tested this trend, held that trend. Trades here don't make sense. Like, unless you're reshorting the rejection and you've already been in from the top and you're taking a new open contract, that it doesn't make sense to start taking those shorts. Like you would have just been in a position and looking to be out of this trade when you break. What time frame are we on here? So that would have been here like this. So you simply would have been looking to break this right here in order to be out of this trade. You would have been like this, which actually goes to here now. So you would have just been like this in this trade. Actually, you would have not have been exiting this trade until you break this, and you might have broken it off this trend. You did, and it just back tested trend, and that's fine. It probably back test trend here, and it does. So very, very simply, you would have just been in this trade like so, right? So there's no trade to be had here past this. It's just you're still in the trade, and target was hit. So very straightforward. Target was hit. Yeah, Bitcoin pulls back to its next target. And right now it's seeing if it's going to continue its ladder. It does look like it might move up a bit here. Like it looks like it might go and attack this higher range, but you're really going to be expecting Bitcoin. Yeah, you're really going to be expecting a short on Bitcoin around like the break somewhere of the move. Somewhere on the break, like 34,570, something like that. 34,570. So like 560. You have to go deeper in time frames to find it. So yeah, really you're going to be looking at the break of the move, like something like this, 560, 570, maybe even like right here, 600, 34.6. It's probably going to get front run a bit, but there's some hidden levels in there. We won't go through that on stream because it's like butterfly effect stuff. But yeah, you'd be looking at something like this in the move to you could go after trend. Like it's not impossible to go up after this trend here. It just depends kind of how long this move holds. But you know, for right now in this trade, there's no reason to enter any shorts. You're not breaking down the move quite yet. The move hasn't broken as of yet, and you'd really be looking for the rejection a bit higher here. You need to kind of confirm rejection a bit higher here. So yeah, really you would have been long from this point and still in the trade. So your trade would have existed would be like this 20% here, which is crazy because it's like 50 grand. Your trade would have been there. My trade was simply in here. And then, you know, I made my 4 or 5% in here yesterday. It ended up being about 10 grand of profits in this little couple movements here, but it was a pretty easy level to play. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward. And it actually just pulled back to its further level, little deeper in the chart. So, very, very, very straightforward stuff going on in Bitcoin right now. Yeah, your next short is maybe around 34.6, maybe. You have to kind of base it on the architecture of the chart and how it's evolving up to that moment. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You might even want to get even greedier on this trade and go for like a 35.7 kind of thing. That's also a high possibility, like 35.7. So you'd be, yeah, like right here, question mark, something like this. Maybe even a little higher. Maybe something like this, 36,000 even, 3650. You'd be like in and around 150, 160, 200, like without going into the chart and finding the levels, I would assume it's about right here. Yeah, I would assume it's about right here. So you have two possible shorts. Really think if you break this trend though, you're 3 possible shorts. This is all going to change based on what's happening in the moment and not based on what we see right now, because we have to see how this trend breaks in order to know which one of these 3 levels it's going to hit. So kind of have like 3 levels here, and which one is going to hit is going to be based on the way this trend breaks and what level takes this trend through the break. You actually marked 34,580 earlier. Oh, nice, dude. Bitcoin dominance is not something that's used, Thomas. It's completely useless. BTC.D is completely useless. Just delete it off your brain, delete it from your mind. Delete out of your brain. I would just say to be careful and always scale towards the greedier levels in this trade on Bitcoin. It's so funny because, we talked about this trade breaking down to this target, and so fine, it went after even further target. That's no big deal. It just went after its next target. It had 2 targets it could go after. Ultimately, it can go after this ladder or the larger ladder from back here, and they both have targets that are going to get hit. So this target gets hit perfectly, and then this target gets hit almost perfectly, right? So like, it's funny because we talked about this on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden, right in and around when price is here, news starts coming out, and it's like, oh, it must have been insider trading. There's news coming out, and there's some kind of crap. I don't know. I didn't even read it, but I saw some kind of quick blurb on Twitter about some type of FUD happened. I don't know. That's all I know. But anyways, it's all crap anyways. None of it is real anyways. So they call it FUD or whatever, and it's just like the way people justify what they can't understand, right? Like people who don't know what trading really means, they just say, oh, the news and the FUD. But it's funny because we talked about this earlier this week, and how many people asked about news articles and fundamental analysis, and it's like we just did it on the fly once again. For like the millionth time we've done this in a row. But it's just like, the same thing as people are saying, show me the news, I'll show you the chart. Well, like, rewind back to Tuesday when we talked about it hitting this target down here. Like, this is the first thing we said. Oh, it's going to go after this target. If it breaks this trend, it's going to go after this target. And like magic, it does, right? So then it's just like, it's funny because it's like, oh, Bitcoin's pulling. Like, what did I see? I read 2 comments, and I quickly just shut down so quickly. It's like I just, my brain just turns mentally deranged when I read this stuff. Like, I shut down so quickly. I'm just like, get me out of here. I need out. And so I read 2 comments, and I read something about FUD. Oh, we've been here before. Look at how we hodled through your FUD. See you at 50K. And I just like instantly, I got so triggered. I was just like a light switch, man. It was just instant. You press it, I'm on full blast. It's just like no dimmer switch at all. I popped off. Like, my mind just turned into soup. And I was just so triggered. And then I saw another comment. What was the second comment that I saw? Something about how BlackRock said we're headed for 150K, but that this pullback was necessary due to federal whatever. It was some crap to do with the same news article about how BlackRock said they made like a correction on their statement. So they made a statement about how it was going to 150K, and then the tweet was like, a correction on our statement. We forgot to include the pullback that was supposed to happen. So they basically tried to like retroactively, in the moment when, like, after Bitcoin had dumped, they said, oh, it's not going straight to 150K. We have a, like, how that, amazing that a company would even do that. They make a prediction, and then they say, oh, edit, we forgot to add this into our post a week ago when we said it was going to 140K, and then it's down at like, from 37K it's down to like 28K, and they're like, oh, edit, by the way, we forgot to say there was a pullback happening. After the pullback happens, I just turned off. Like I said, I checked out so fast because, like, we talked about this, it was so transparent on the chart. So it's just like, yeah, it's just like actually crazy. Thanks for the work you put in, content. Great setup, great content. Keep it up. Oh man, thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. It's amazing how the only real trader dropping non-biased bullshit is not on the same level as those clickbait idiots. The ETH is going to blow to 3K. Yeah, happy you found me. Thanks, man. I'm glad you found me too. I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have somebody who understands. Good to have you, man. How does this type of trend break affect which hold level will be hit? Butterfly effect, my dude. A lot of gaps in pricing on BTC CME futures right now. No, that has no effect on price, Rook. So it's just, yeah, we talked about news and fundamental analysis, and I hope you guys understand now that if I can constantly, like, you give me a blank chart and I'll show you where the news exists, right? And I do this like all the time. It's almost like a kind of like an ongoing meme at this point, where it's like they should make like a content indicator that's a news debunking indicator, and it's just my charts, right? Like, I hope one day I can be the death of this idea that fundamental analysis has anything to do with the charts. Although there will always be fundamental traders, because this is how banks make their money off of retail pedestrians, right? Like, this is how they make their money off people. They simply just say like, oh, well, yeah, okay. You don't have time to trade the news. We have insider information. I'm sure you do. It's like, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, we talked about this earlier in the week, how if it breaks this trend, you short, and it's going to here. And like, if you guys did that, like, okay, say you break trend and you take this trade, and you would have saw it pretty quick. Like, you would have seen it right here, breaking trend, and you would have seen the back test of trend right there. The trick is having the right trends, right? Like, the trick is not, you know, how much is this trade worth? What's 15%? Again, that's like what, 40K? That's like 40 grand in 2 days. That's like, is people's yearly income, right? Your month's work of done is your month of work is done. Like, do this every month, you get $500,000 a year, right? Work is done, one trade. Like, this is why you don't need to trade altcoins, because there's just no point. You just have to find all the moves in Bitcoin and just play them. It's just so simple. It's not like you have to play every single move either. Like, people have another misconception about, like, this is what I see people do. They're like, oh, I could have made 3% here, and then if I shorted here, I could have made another 2%, so I'd be at like 5%, and then I could have played that for 8%, and I would have been at 11%, and then I really should have taken this short, and I would have been at 16%. Oh man, that's not, like, while you can do this, this is like pretty tough level to like catch every single part of the move. Like, why not just play the pretty obvious stuff on the charts? Like, why not just play the super obvious stuff, right? Like, this is pretty that's why I charge so much for butterfly effect, because you can make the cost of butterfly effect in like 1 day, and then you have the rest of your life. You have like the next 30 years to make as much money as you want. But it's like, you don't have to play every single part of every move. You just have to find the trades that make sense. The key is having the technicals that make sense to do it, because you can draw lines all over your screen, but those lines have to be the data points that you make these decisions on, right? So if you're going to take your chart and try to Mona Lisa it and have the data points that make sense, like, you better be right, or those data points that cost you money, right? So, like, you know, these data points on the chart, you better be good, because if you buy the wrong data points, but then, okay, so fine, you have perfect moments like this, and we did this prior to the move happening, so nobody can say, oh, easy to add a trend afterwards. As we talked through this whole entire setup that I just went through. We talked about this on Tuesday before it happened. We had these levels. We haven't touched our chart or changed anything since Tuesday. You can go back and look at the stream, and you have like the perfect break, the back test, and then the dump, and it's just like so ABC perfect, right? So I don't know. All these Twitter triggers me. That's for sure. Got like a card reader, but yeah, and the charting psychic, that should have been my name, charting psychic, not cotton candy. When you hear people say BTC is going to 50K or 100K, I know we're in for a correction. Yeah, people don't know what they're talking about. It's just kind of weird. How should you enter trade before trend break? Butterfly effect, Hakai. Do yourself a favor, go buy it. I'm shilling it. It's my course, but again, there's no real straightforward answer. My wife's opinion on trading, she's glad I do it. You know, obviously it gives us a very, very good lifestyle. So lifestyle wise, she's happy. You know, my wife has been with me. We've known each other since we were teenagers, and we were friends for 5 years first. And then, you know, we are soulmates through and through. My wife and we are, you know, two peas in a pod. So we're just, no matter the amount of money, we're still just two kids in a kind of this story. So like, yeah, she loves it because it gives her a nice lifestyle, but by no means does that impact who she is as a person, why I love her. And yeah, I mean, her opinion on it, she likes it. Obviously it gives us a very comfortable lifestyle. We live in a nice house and we drive nice cars and this and that, and we don't have financial worries. So these things are all great, but her opinion on it, I don't know. I don't think she really has one. Just kind of supports what I do. Like a good spouse should just support your partner, rich or poor. You just support people and what they love to do, and try to live the best life you can, right? So yeah, I have two kids. No matter if we were, you know, here or we were making $15 an hour, I think we would be in the same story, right? It's just like you don't let the the financial aspect of it affect the relationship. And we're just, like I said, we're just like two kids living a great story together. So yeah, it's great. How many kids do I have? Yeah, I have 2 kids. So hard to find a good life partner. Yeah, really, we're both down to earth, very just chill out people. So such a wholesome response. Respect. Thanks, man. Thanks, Mitch. Truth though, right? Like, I love my wife. She's my rock. We've been friends since, God, we've been together for 20 years. Almost 20 years. Married for 8 or 9. Feels like we're still dating. Like, it's so cool. We still laugh together every day. Like, it's cool. It's great. I don't know what to say. It's great. Yeah, it's good. Can you tell me, why do you like the beginner's course for free? I'm not sure if I understand that. Why do you do like the beginner's course for free? I'm not sure. Why do you do like the beginner's course for free? I'm not sure. I might maybe have to reword that one, Jelly. I don't think I understand what you're saying. Probably not reading it right. Yeah, let's do our CMEs. Oh, wait, not CMEs. What am I on about? Commodities. We have our commodities list to finish today. So where did we get to last time? We got to, why do you put this content out for free? To help people, man. Like, I used to play sports like back in like high school and stuff. Not anymore. I'm more of a nerd than I am an athlete. Built like an athlete, brain like a nerd. Yeah, I just prefer clicking buttons than throwing balls, I suppose. No, I played sports when I was in high school, but it was just, I was always kind of like, at 16, I enrolled for computer science in university because I was an accelerated high school student. So I did really good in high school. And then I applied for microcomputer sciences. So like building microcomputers and, you know, microchips and things like that, building computers and then working on microchips and things like that when I was 16. So I chose my path when I was a very young age, you know, computer sciences and university. So yeah, yeah. Why do I put this content out for free? I just want to help people. I want to be known as the person who's reshaping the markets, I suppose, something like that. We got to ZW1, wheat. What do we have left on our commodities? So let's pop over to commodities. Apologies, the commodities chart is not fully fixed yet. It's not resized and all these things, so it's not. Yeah. Got to keep those hips mobile. Long-term lower back health is the best trend to be on. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, man. He's so important. University of Waterloo. Yeah, that's Ontario, right? I'm pretty sure that's Ontario. Waterloo? That's got to be Ontario. Okay, so what do we have next for commodities? We got to wheat. Soybeans, copper, soybean oil, silver, cotton, cocoa, aluminum, steel, iron, nickel. There's our list. So we got to wheat. So now we're doing soybeans. Okay, soybean ticker. Let's go to that. Yes, it is. Bang on. Yep, Waterloo. I think it's a okay university. I don't know too much about Waterloo, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's probably a pretty decent university. Soybean story from the Japanese candlestick is a classic. I don't know if I know that one. Soybean ticker. Okay, what are we doing on soybean ticker? So this is CBOT. ZS, there we go. Soybean futures, here it is, ZS1 on CBOT. Okay, well, what's going on with Mr. Soybean? Whoa. Soybeans popped the hell off, isn't it? Well, immediately, even before looking at the chart, you would see this right here. This is trend that has to break, and even before that test, you've got the legacy right there. So once this breaks, like I told you guys, show me the news. I'll show you the chart. I'm sure they had some kind of news release earlier this year that onset this, but this was very straightforward. I'm slamming my desk. You guys probably hear the big bang. Apologies. Yeah, this is very straightforward. Trend breaks. You know, your trend, it exists. Why is my replayer tool not working? What do you want about replayer tool? What is this? What? What is this on about? Why is the replayer tool not working? You don't have replayer tool on soybean futures for some reason? Anybody know anything about this? Okay, we don't really need the replayer tool here, but anyways, you have your trend right here. Well, we just actually have to snap it to the higher time frame. You have your trend right here. Simply need to break over it and back test it. So, I mean, trend exists here, base to reach point. So you have base here, reach here. So there's nothing, you can't sit here and say like, oh, well, of course you just snapped trend to here, but that's not true because trend is back here on the higher time frame. So on the higher time frame, you have trend. It never closes properly, right? Like you don't have a hard close in here, so you're not going to break. And on top of that, you don't break over the trend and back test it. See how you kind of just break trend and you fall right through it and you reject the trend? That's the difference about here, is where you break through the trend and back test it before you move up, right? So the big difference fundamentally in the way the architecture of the chart plays out in that moment. So this is very straightforward. Soybean breaks long-term trend. Yeah, ladders off of its range. And then very, very straightforward breaks through. So soybean is obviously on the rip right now, and it's probably going to be looking to have a short. And we can look for the short here momentarily. It took me a while. I've been at this for over a century, Dario. So you know, I think everybody's different, but it definitely took me a while. So yeah, I mean, immediately just a local trend on soybean. Like this is pretty straightforward. And okay, so where are you looking to short on this thing? Okay, so you're looking to short that range, which is, yeah, so you are going to look to short right here. Oh, we're just trying to play the range on this, if we can get to it. You are looking to short right here. Nice psychological number, 1500. Good old 1500. It says nothing to do with psychological number. It's not. That's another one I love. Oh, you think Bitcoin's going to go to 50K? Maybe, but it's not going to stop at 50K because it's a psychological number. I tell you that. If there's a level there, it'll stop, but it's not going to stop at 50K because it's a psychological number. 1500 being the same thing. Sure as hell ain't going to stop there if that's, you know. It also did just play its range back here right now in this local part of the move. So the range from here, it just hit as well. Oh, sorry. From here, it just hit as well. So it did just hit the backside of its range. So just a pull back off the backside of its range, and then really looking to see if it can test this move, and that'll be, you know, your long-term move up back down to 11.6 right here. So then you're looking at here to here 11.57 question mark. Yeah, 11.5. I guess you would just say 11.6 because you know what, it's there's not much of a difference in spread there. You're at such a small margin that I don't really know if it makes a difference between missing the move and possibly, yeah, I don't think there's enough there to even say like 11.57. So if you weren't playing 11.6, because there's a few different ranges in here, like, are you willing to miss such a big move off of that? So yeah, your range really exists right here, right? Like that's it. It's very simple. So 01, 2021. Very straightforward. We don't need to make this one yellow. It's not like this big important moment that we want to know on the chart. We're kind of saving those yellow. What do we got? 11.64. Okay, sure. We'll just move it a little forward in case it. What did we say? 11.604. We're just moving it forward a bit just in case it doesn't. You know, we end up missing the line because we're too zoomed in on the chart or something. You know, we'll copy this one, delete this one. I'm trying to be lazy here. We got lazy, and then you know, we're gonna just. So we don't have to change the text parameter. What do we say? 11.64 right there. So yeah, that's your range right there on soybean futures. So ZS1 done, easy peasy, bang that off. Okay, ZS1. Let's mark it on our little cheat sheet here. So we got ZS1. Okay, this is soybean futures, soybean oil futures. Can't spell right now. Soybean oil, or is this just soybean? This is just soybean futures. Soybean futures. What did I say? A century? I'm not a vampire. I swear to God. I've seen True Blood. I'm definitely not that cool. No, a decade. Yeah. I hope I didn't say century. I've been at this for a decade. Yeah, a decade. We had this conversation earlier in the week. I said, is a decade or century? And I chose decade. And I was right. Now I'm saying century. Yikes, dude. Speaking of True Blood is coming out again. They're rebooting it. Nobody knows if it's going to be if there's any True Blood lovers. First show me and my wife watched back in like 2008. Well, actually, the first show I really got into was The Wire. God, that show was just incredible. I still think about it like weekly. I love The Wire. But then first show I got her into was True Blood because she wasn't too much of a TV show watcher. And I said, okay, well, I think you'll like this one. It's called True Blood. I really like True Blood. It's pretty cool. But anyways, long story short, True Blood, they are rebooting it. Nobody knows if it's going to be a continuation of where it left off, a reboot of episode 1, or a separate story altogether. But very cool. HBO's rebooting True Blood. That's like awesome news. I love True Blood. Yeah, I cut Road to 1 Million short. It was just too many people front running me. Too many like disaster scenarios of people front running me. It's just like it just didn't work. Thank you, Trading for Animals, for letting me know about your channel and way of charting. Trade Intuition, you are welcome. Yeah, Trading for Animals, pretty cool guy. We talk on Twitter, but he's a cool guy with a good vision. Check out his channel if you haven't already, guys. His name is Trading for Animals. $100 yeah. Also been together for 20 years, since senior in high school, and 35 now. Yeah, like almost the same story, Charlie. Yeah, same age range, same year range. Yeah, same thing, Charlie. Yeah, I ended Road to 1 Million a while ago. It was just like too many people with unrealistic expectations, and too many people front running my positions. And I don't know how many times it happened where I would miss a trade. And again, for me, it's worth like 10K a trade. And I would miss a trade by like 20 cents because I had like 30 people front running my positions, and everybody else would get filled except mine because I was posting my trades like publicly in our group or whatever. And people, not that I said, oh, take this trade, because it's not financial advice or anything like that. It's just, I share my positions and hope people learn from it, and I hope people educate themselves on my positions. But then it just turned into like this crazy thing where everybody would just basically have the Discord channel open. My signals were being sold to other people. People would have the Discord open. I would put a trade, and I would like minimize it down to like within 3 minutes of a trade happening. I wouldn't it got so bad where at first, it was like I'd give 6 hours. I'd be posting my trades 6 hours prior. It got so bad towards the end that I would have to take like trades only to the minute, or like 3 minutes away from the trade, and I would post it, and it would still happen because people would just like spam it, and there ended up being a bot created to resell my signals to different Twitter groups, and it just got to be like a big thing. And I just was like, yeah, no, this is not what it was supposed to be. So it just got canceled. And it was pretty bittersweet because the very last day that I had it open in December, we made like 12%, I think it was, on a trade. We had a 7% trade and a 12% trade almost 3 days apart. So there was people in it who were like selling my signals and just doing like shady shit. They left on like, I think it was like November 29th. They left because they didn't want to be in it for the next month, which was fine. And then on December 1st, we did like a full 7.5%. And then December 3rd, I believe it was, we did like 12.5%. So we did like 20% 2 days after. So for the few like really stout people who were really supporting it, they got a huge payoff because we did like 20% in 2 days, which was crazy. And because 20% is like 50K, right, in like 2 days. And they were quick trades too. It was like an hour here and 3 or 4 hours there, something like that. And then all the people who were doing shady shit, they all, like, the whole group of them left on like the 29th. So it was like, it was bad for me, but then like a little bittersweet at the end, because like all these people who were like doing shady shit and being stupid about it, and having these crazy expectations, and doing, like I said, shady behind the scenes shit, they left, and then 2 days later we made like 20%. So it was kind of bittersweet for me to end it like that. So I'm pretty happy where it ended, because like I said, the people who were there for like the right reasons, they stayed in, and then they got like a huge reward out of it at the end. they got huge rewards the whole time through because they were just like front running my trades. But anyways, at the end, it was like even better. That was pretty cool. Hey, what's next? What do we have next here? Copper. So copper ticker. HG, is this copper? Copper futures, here we go. Contract in front, next contract in line, HG1. There we go, contract in front. Copper could break down here. I'm just gonna look at this chart, just observe for a minute. Yeah, copper really just hit its range just actually this week right now. So actually copper just hit its range perfectly. FCX copper. Oh, you want me to do what is it? What is the ticker? HG? You want me to do, what are you looking for? Because I'm just on, I guess we could go, I don't see another copper's futures here. You're saying FCX. Sorry, man. You lost me on that one. FCX for copper. Do you mean the exchange? Sorry, you lost me, man. Okay, anyways, moving on. Yeah, actually, you know what? This hit its range perfectly, and copper is moving up if it simply just breaks this like local trends. Like copper is in a moment right now where you just simply wouldn't be trading it. It's already inside of its interior cycle. It's not necessarily pulling back yet, but it already, no worries, thank you. I think you mean like FCX copper, but okay, that doesn't like the exchange, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, copper hit its range perfectly. Like it actually almost hit it to the dollar here. So that's pretty perfect. And pulling back, and it could have another little pull up to 378, but really right now I don't think you'd be wanting to short copper just because it does look like it's breaking up a bit. Like it held its range back here, created its ladder, right? Like it's been laddering from here to here to here. Tested this range perfectly, almost to the dollar. Like you've got actually within the cent and a half it tested range, and then within a cent and a half it's already tested range here. So these trades are all just like obviously missed and in moments right now, but you know, if this continues to hold this range here, it's simply going to be breaking up. You'd maybe look to be taking a short on copper. Like at first you'd have this, which held the move up, right? Like this holds the move up. You know, you could short copper if this breaks, but I don't think I like that. Like if I was going to short copper, I would have done it a few weeks ago right at this top, and I would be like hoping for the pullback here. But copper also looks like it could push its range up pretty nicely. Where could it go? That's, I guess, the next best question. Like where could copper go? Copper can go all the way up to this range here. So you could see like 442 copper. So that's where I'd be opening a short, is like right here. $4.38, 43 cents. Yeah, I'd be looking to short this right here. So this is a pretty crazy level. This one is definitely one I will use 01 2021, and we're doing yellow because this would be a great short on copper right here. Like this would be like insanely good, because then this is going to lead, if this level rejects, then it leads to the, you know, a larger move down in copper. And you know, what is this worth? Like 50%. Yeah, very close to it, 50%. So you'd be back at this range. Actually, I was right bang on the number, because your level is actually going to be right in that range. So it's going to be right in this range here. 220. Yeah. Damn. You know, you've been charting way too long when you can say like, oh, it's that percentage and it's just that accurate. So you'd be at like 222, 21, 22. You'd be like right here in this. So yeah, I mean, you're pretty you're kind of playing the middle of a move. I don't really think it makes sense to, like, here's a scenario. So okay, you're in copper, right? You You enter a short on copper. Okay, fine. Short breaks down. It's good. The risk associated with the short is too high though, because you haven't hit your target, your final target in this trade. This is very easy. It's polarized. You have a level here. You short that right there. If it breaks over, you're out of the trade. Stop loss with like 0% losses, right? Like you just get out completely, because you just have to have the right level accuracy, and then you can see the interior piece of the move that breaks. So likely you're going to open a short perfectly, like right here. It's going to pull back and do some kind of little whatever here, and then you can see if the range of the move breaks and it starts to, you know, get into this range, you'd actually leave in profits before it back tests and moves up, right? So it's like a no loss, only profit scenario. You just have to wait for the right moment, and then, you know, your range is 50%. So yeah, that's like, again, another like pay off the house kind of trade. So copper, great move, and we're marking both of these in yellow because actually it's a very stout trade in the regard that both of these levels are equal in their value, as they will target each other. So very simple, very straightforward. Notice how I'm not using any like EMA, MA, fib, any of this crap, because it doesn't work, guys. Like you can't, like, again, I know I beat this horse to death, but trust me, as much as you feel like I might be beating this horse to death, I get asked this question like 50 times a day. I get asked it on Twitter at least 3 times a day on Twitter. I get asked it in private messages in the Discord. I get asked it on comments in YouTube videos. I literally get asked the same question. So I'm kind of beating the horse here a bit, but trust me, compared to how much I get asked, this is like nothing. We just barely scratching the surface. We're just data scraping the surface on this one, right? It's just like, yeah. The Wire is awesome. Watching it now. You're rewatching. I think I've watched it like 3 or 4 times now. His name is Trading for Animals, with a 4, like trading for the number 4 animals. What were your biggest beginner mistakes trading? Just not respecting the education process. Like when I first started, obviously I wanted to make money because I was paying for university. So I was just trying to, yeah, I was just trying to, you know, make money, pay for university, and just using too much risk. But, you know, I had an okay bankroll. So thankfully I was pretty good with bankroll management. So like, yeah, just should have educated more first before I started trading. No, I don't think he really makes TA videos. Queen's Gambit, I've seen it. It's on Netflix. I've got the bot I tried to make AX. I've got an update coming out shortly, actually, Tom. Releasing a video on it in the next week or so. Week. Excuse me. Coffee caught in my throat. Okay, so we have done copper. Now we're on to soybean oil. So let's go soybean oil ticker. I'll take a wild guess here. Soybean is ZS1, ZSO. ZL, it's the same ticker. ZL. So we did soybean oil. We didn't do soybeans. Are they 2 different tickers? Like I'm looking at my list here. I'm wondering if they're 2 different tickers. Is that what? I think they're the same thing. I think soybean and soybean oil is the same thing. There's like the funds like SOYB, the different funds they have. Soybean futures, which is probably going to be soybean oil. Soybean futures, again, here with that. Soybeans commodity. Okay, what's this ticker? I go on this website, there's a pop-up that says, which indicators would you like to add? And there's no options for none. Okay. Oh, very cool. So what if we just type in soybeans? Nothing, huh? What if we type in soybean? We got soybeans futures. We've got the fund, right? The soybeans, the Ecrium fund, oil. I think there's just soybean, like soybean oil. I don't think there's like a soybeans specific mini futures. Yeah, I think it's just soybean oil. Okay, what's next? Silver. Which ticker do we want to use for silver? Just SLV or whatever it is? XVG, is that XVG? Yeah, this is, I'm thinking XVG. Sorry, I'm thinking crypto. SLV. Or is it just SL? You know what? We can just type in silver. That's how I always do it. I don't know why I'm looking for the ticker. I could just literally type in silver. I always do it this way. We already charted silver too. I'm pretty sure we already charted silver. Yeah, we already did this. Take another quick look. Yeah, we can take another quick look. Can you chart replay with us so we can see when you're right and stuff and how it works out? You could just like follow the stuff I do that all the time. I'm not sure what you're asking, Rick. Please, what does polarized mean? Butterfly effect stuff, my dude. So where is silver going? I guess that's the question that we need to be asking, because we already kind of found the bottom on this thing. We already found the range on the bottom. We did this live there the other day. We kind of already did this, and you've got some ranges back here. So where's this thing actually going? You already hit your range and you're pulling back. So you've already developed your range and you're pulling back. God, this reminds me of like Ethereum so much, just like Bitcoin's baby brother. Except silver actually has its own independent line as to where Ethereum doesn't. Is Ethereum is just a pile of boo-boo. $33 maybe? Helped you out so much, Mike. Good, man. I'm glad to hear. Okay, so you've got a range right here, right? You've got a range right there. This is a hard chart. It's going to take me a few minutes here. We got to work through a bunch of time frames to see what's going on. Move the mic a little closer here as well, so we're not drowning out in sound. Also got a range right here. I would put my money on it that it's right there where it rejects $35. And there's nothing from the past usable at all. That's not usable at all. I would say $35 is where this rejects. You could get a little front running here, like 34.91, 93. That's fine. This is a critical level right now. This is a critical range in the move. So this is where your short exists. Putting this one on the bottom center. Silver done. What's next? Cotton. What is the cotton ticker? We're just going to do it this way. Cotton futures. Futures 2, 29 futures, cotton 1. What is a CT? CT1, cotton number 2. What is the difference here between cotton 29 and cotton number 2? What is this? Different exchange, is that it? Oops. 81. Why am I typing futures? $81. Okay, so this is just converted, so that's fine. We do CT1 for cotton. So you're looking at $90 on cotton. Rejection at $90. Right here, that's where your pullback exists, like this range right here. You could possibly go to 92.50. Like, where could you possibly go to the top of that range? Like $92. It's possible, but yeah, you know what? It's definitely possible. $92 is definitely possible. I think you have to have both levels, and this is in the moment chart that you do. Very simple, very straightforward. What about outside of that part of the move? Can you break down the move? No, you really can't. You already have. You actually can go down to like $32. Just gonna turn this pink. Perfect. Actually, you know what? We're not just gonna do that. We're just, what do we have? This $92? Okay. Come on. Simple. Done. XRP? Nah. And I don't look at BTC pairs, by the way, Thomas. Oh, trade intuition. Wait till you're at future trading, man. Got cocoa next. Aluminum, steel, iron, nickel. Cocoa, right? Cocoa next. Did I spell cocoa wrong? Oh, yeah, I did. There's oops. Of course. CC. Okay. The chocolate gods will never forgive me for that one. Haunted by Willy Wonka. Yeah, no links. Night bottle time you out, but yeah, people will definitely find you. Simple. Okay, what the heck? I know, right? I told you Willy Wonka is gonna come after me for that one because that was not okay. Possible long-term failure in cocoa if it can't break this trend. So yeah, you're really looking at cocoa to back develop a polarity in the chart here. You are absolutely looking for that polarity in the chart here. Wait a second. We're gonna go here. It's gonna be the same chart. Oh, wait a second. No, we're not. MEX is the same thing. And this is from 1980. Yeah, we're definitely sticking with this. Just regular. I don't use logarithmic. I think it's pointless. I think it doesn't matter which one you use, to be honest, but I never use logarithmic. Logarithmic wasn't used back in the day, so I don't use it because the science was created way back then. Logarithmic was introduced afterwards, after TA had already been established and there was a science. So for that reason, logarithmic scaling is just not used. Okay, you're getting timed out because you're the one who mentioned that trade intuition, and yeah, it's kind of scummy, man. You're the one who mentioned you came here from trading for animals, and now you're saying you can't find his channel. You're both about to get banned. Don't do stupid shit here. Yeah, logarithmic is not used. It was introduced after on. ALB, I'm not sure what that is. ALB, what is ALB? Just making sure it's not, oh, Alibaba. No, we're just doing commodities today. Cocoa. What are we doing with cocoa? Already backtested that. Metal stock? Oh, ALB. Yeah, we've got metal coming up. We're going to do aluminum, steel, iron, and nickel. I thought ALB was Alibaba. Maybe because first thing I saw was this. Aluminum. Okay. Multiple ALB tickers apparently. So let's finish this. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. I think cocoa can pull back quite a bit here. So that's already tested. That's already tested. Yeah, with cocoa, you're really looking at like 1600 range here on cocoa. Like this trend ultimately will bounce you to 1600, like 1620. Right here, like 1625. And then this should break your trend. So this is a pretty crazy level right here. So this is definitely going to be one that we need to watch in the future. Oops, wrong time frame. You're going to be like right there. 1586. We're going to say like 1590 maybe. Cocoa is done. We're not going to worry about where this thing can go until the trend actually breaks because we need to see where it gets there. Aluminum. Aluminum ticker. NX. There's also AA. So there might be quite a few aluminum tickers. I think this is company based and not abroad for the industry. I think. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm going to do this would be all metals though, wouldn't it? Like they'd all be like this. It's not like silver, gold, or copper, nickel. This any type of actual man-made metal would be, I believe, company based. Lithium, it's not aluminum, ALB. Okay, lithium. Oh, I don't think we have lithium on our list. Should we? So we're going to keep researching aluminum tickers here. There's a lot of aluminum stocks. I don't know if we're going to be looking at aluminum. So there's like AA, which is Alco Corp. There's ACH, which is Aluminum Corporation of China. So there's AAAHC. So I guess we just look at AH and AHC, right? Like that's what we're looking at. 1920, $11. And what's AHC? ACH. Yeah, the NYSE. Okay, so I guess we're doing these two. ACH and AA, but we're going to put AA first on the list just because it's got a higher cap on it. Aluminum. AA and AHC. So this is like American aluminum, I believe the AA is. Oh no, Alcoa, which is USA origin, and then Jesus, Aluminum Corporation of China, which is ACH. So then, okay, we're gonna start with AA here. Yikes, aluminum is being hit pretty hard. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is very straightforward already. You've got this here to this here, which breaks the move, right? Like that breaks the move right there. That would have been your first break on the move right here, which then gives you... This is not a real trend, but it would be there otherwise. That's fine. That's not the important trend now. What's important now would be that to that. Okay, so then you would have like this to this is important right now and nothing else, which gives you the current break of the move, which would be here to here like this, and then it would be actually that right there. So the first part of the break is right here, right? And that's the first break. That's a second break. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a very straightforward chart. Definitely looks like it's in distribution still. This thing looks like it's gonna dump. I don't really see... yeah, aluminum looks pretty bad. I don't really see where this thing could really even have any type of recovery. Like almost as it's about to hit a new all-time low. Like what is it? First opened at $3. Like this thing looks like it's about to go to $2. Jesus, this thing looks horrible. It looks great for a pickup. You know, look at, you know, like 50-cent aluminum maybe. Yikes. There's nothing that holds this move up and it's in failure. So like this is like a giga yikes. It's already been tested. Everything has been tested on this chart already. That's tested. That range is tested. This is not. So there's like a emergency level here, which I don't even think can hold the move, to be honest with you. There's this here, which already got tested and hit. So you'd be like... $7 maybe? $6.70 is like a good pickup. Yikes, aluminum got wrecked. It's still getting wrecked. If 670 can stabilize, it'll be a great move up, but I don't think I would hold it past trend, to be honest. I think I would hold it through a fake break of trend. So actually, though, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. Whoa, that's actually a really sick trade. I guess I didn't realize how hard aluminum got hit versus its price. Yeah, I think you have $6.70 you can target here on aluminum. I also think you can go after this $14 range, but Oh my God, this is a crazy trade already as it is, 300%. I think you can ultimately test $6 here and then have a big move up over time. Like this is a long play. This is like a 5-year trade, but I think if you can see this get down to 670, I think you can buy it and this to me looks like Apple stock. Like it'll moon in the future beyond moon, right? Like it's hit $6, stabilizes for a few years, and then 10 years down the line or 5 years later it's at like $100. It's like crazy. Like I'll definitely pick this up. When it comes down to around this range and manage my position here, because this is like insanely valuable. This is something you would hold in like a retirement fund. Aluminum, not putting your whole retirement fund in there, but there's no reason why you wouldn't put like $3,000 into this thing, and then ultimately it'll come up and test in this range here, right here, like this. 1200%, $3,000. What is that, like a 50 grand hit off such a small, you could futures it as well. Like that doesn't, that you could make like $5 million on this trade. But this is definitely like a crazy trade that looks like it's going towards a $6 mark. Not anytime soon, but it definitely looks like we've already done NG1. NG1 was last time. NG1 is on our list. That was the second one we did actually. So AA is like crazy good. Gotta go enjoy your weekend. Thanks, man. Blood Massacre, saw it from a mile away, Ricardo. Made money hand over fist on this last week of crypto. Saw it from a mile away, my dude. By the way, going back to that comment earlier, somebody said, oh, you should show your profits afterwards. Wouldn't you guys rather me show you targets in the future and let you guys manage your own trade than show you what I made? Because like, wasn't there a bunch of people who made like 20% on this call out that I did this week? Like I did one call out on Bitcoin, right? Which was break trend, take that trade and hit target, which it did perfectly. Like, isn't there like handfuls of people here who made like, what is this, like 15%? Even like, isn't there like a handful? Like, isn't there tons of you guys who made like, so somebody said earlier, oh, you should show your profits. So wouldn't you guys rather me do this, show you guys levels, and then you guys can take your own trades rather than seeing what I made? I could show you the 10 grand I made yesterday in this little range. I don't know if that really does anything for you guys though. Again, I would never do that because it's just kind of stupid tax wise, but like just hit my, just thought that just crossed my mind right now. It kind of doesn't make sense. Kind of like some common sense factors. ACH. So ACH is kind of cooked, this chart. I don't want to trade ACH. This chart sucks. This is like very... I would just rewatch the stream, Ricardo. I talk about it a lot today. Yeah, the play on ACH is already over. There's like a nice 100% in there. It's already over. It already held its range for the last like 6 months. You can look for it to come back and back test, see if it can develop something around $5.40 and see if it can develop right here. Wouldn't be overly eager to get into this, but you could see if this will develop at like, yeah, 535 is good. But I wouldn't be like overly eager to get into this. But if it does develop here, it could be another big play on aluminum. As to where this is already kind of, this definitely looks better than AA, that's for sure. In terms of aluminum charts, this looks way better. But you've got a long way to go. Like you're not passing, say, like $13-14 on this. It's not like a crazy trade. You can over time, but there's just the first sector of this trade is just like 100 and some odd percent. It's not some crazy like 400-500% trade. You're the man, brother. Thanks, man. No, Rick, I do not do that. Deal is next. I'll mark this level, but I'm not overly anxious to take it. I'll take a look at it when it's happening. We'll just do like a nice easy color. Deal. We've got 3 more. It's just X. That's it. United States Steel Corp. Yeah, it's just X. Okay, it's just X. Yeah, steel's not looking too healthy. It's kind of just in this downward trajectory. You're gonna see steel like, Jesus, the price is already so low, $4. Like you could see like 50-cent steel. Lots of topics in Butterfly Effect, Rick. Lots. Yeah, you hit trend and you're simply pulling back. I think you could, I don't think there's a point in charting steel. I wouldn't touch steel right now. Like 10-cent steel, maybe 15, 20-cent steel. I don't know. Yeah, maybe like down here around $1.02. Something like this. $1.02, $1.10, something like that. Put this on the left side. Iron. Oh, we got to add steel. So this is simply just X. Super weird. But okay, it's just X is the ticker. Iron ticker is next. Iron. IRM. Just iron like this. Egyptian iron and steel. IRM. Iron Mountain. So there's Iron Mountain, and I'm seeing this on the list, but I don't think this is just like iron. London Stock Exchange, iron. Doesn't look like iron though. Like this doesn't look like iron. But apparently this is it. Ironveld PLC. Yeah, this is it. The TA is the same across everything, Thomas. Ironveld. I don't really do too much technical analysis on the live streams here on YouTube. I keep it very limited. I just draw a few lines and that's it. We're just developing our playbook for the year. Oh, excuse me. You know, eventually this will just turn into a 45-minute morning show where I just go through everything and just kind of do it like a quick overlook for the day. This is not meant to be like a 4 and 5 hour stream, but right now they're a little long because I am getting to creating my market list for everything. Like we did Forex already. Crypto is simply just BTC. And there's no point in trading anything else other than BTC and crypto. We're doing our commodities list right now, and then we'll do stocks next week. And stocks is going to take a few days. Obviously, there's a lot of stocks. So we're kind of building out like this list of big things right now. And I'm doing very limited technical analysis. Like I'm doing like less than 2% of what, you know, should be done for technical analysis. I'm just adding some, you know, critical points that I think are interesting, some injunctions for the future. The expert tier is very different. The expert tier is a lot of deep dive theory. It's a lot of exclusive content. If you go on Patreon and read it, you'll see all about it, what it is for the expert tier. And there's yeah, they're definitely different. It's more like theory, contests for mentorship, things like that. So yep, definitely a big difference in what I do there. I go in depth and talk about like my charts in I talk about my charts in the Patreon expert tier. So what are we on to now? Iron. So yeah, London Stock Exchange, Iron Veld PLC. Okay. How can you prove it with TA? It's super easy, man. I do it all the time. I think I've charted Tesla in the past and it was like super easy. A bachelor in finance who were valuing all kinds of stocks. Yikes. Oh, your teachers would hate me. Your professors would not like me. I've had professors in university that didn't like me because I asked too many questions and kind of debunked too many of their theories. Not in finance, you didn't study in finance, but in my 11 years in university, I've had a lot of not run-ins with professors like see you in the alley, not like that. It was just like obviously I try to debunk their theories and I'm usually successful at it, but I don't kind of keep things to myself because I also don't want to be, my voice in a war when there's no point to doing that, right? Like I just keep my opinions to myself for a lot of that stuff, but yeah, your professors would not like me. I'll take a look at Tesla because it's university related for you after we're done iron and nickel here, Thomas. So if you hang in here for a few minutes, we'll go look at it. Really want to just get through iron and nickel because these are our last two for commodities. And then we're check marking commodities. I mean, yeah, this is looks terrible. Iron looks horrible. Like it's just at its all-time low. It's retesting lower lows. It's laddering down still. Like there's nothing to be had here. Immediately a trend that sticks out to me would be like this, and this is already broken, right? Like that's already broken right here, and it hasn't stabilized the move. It's still rejecting off this, which attempted to stabilize a move. So next year into like the larger trends and the move stuff like this. So yeah, iron just looks like crap. I don't even think I'll put this on my chart, but I'm just gonna leave this blank because I don't think there's anything to really look forward to here on iron. I don't think there's really any moments here. Maybe you could consider something like this in the future. We can leave this, but iron just looks like it's like steel and aluminum, just scraping the bottom and not really. I think if you think the price of iron is low right now. So let's go and do that for a second. 2021, 2010. Whoa, that's old. If you think the price of iron is low now, Jesus, this thing just got pummeled. If you think buying iron is like, oh my God, iron was $1 billion. It's got to rebound some point. It was $20. Imagine being an iron. And if you think 61 cents is low, it moving down 90% to 72. And then so fine, it stabilizes at 72 and it moves down another 90% or I guess you can't, 56 cents down to like, here we got to even move in more, it's here at 64 cents and it moves down another 90% to like 30 something. I guess that would be like 32 range. But I've got to pin it from the right price. That's the problem that I'm running into here. So like from 64 to like 30 something. Oh, right, because I'm thinking the opposite way. I'm thinking movement up, not movement down, but it moves down another 50%, like another 90% gains that you could get up top. And then even from here, you're at 38 cents and it moves down another 24 cents to 24 cents. And then it stabilizes here. And anything from there, it's like 1,000% just back up to 27 cents. Like this is so common in stocks where imagine if you had caught this wick and you made 700% in the matter of less than a day because you were able to catch this wick. Like this thing is just moving down still. Look for it. It's just scraping such lows. You could get like 5-cent iron maybe. Like I would be even considering like, sub 5-cent iron and then looking to make profits at 10 or 15 cents or 20 cents and make 100%. It goes back up to 10 cents, right? Come on. That's super weird why it won't go to 5 cents. Like, okay, fine. It goes in 2-cent increments. Imagine picking it up at 6 cents and selling at 18 cents. Meanwhile, you're buying right now. You know how much money you'd lose on this thing? You'd lose your shirt. You'd lose your, like everything. So you wouldn't even bother touching this, right? Like it's just, I would just look at like sub 10-cent iron. Wouldn't even touch this, otherwise the risk is just too high. So what is this? Iron Veld? Oh, so this is just iron. Okay, so this is just iron on the LSE. And we've got nickel, the last one. Nickel ticker. CNC, CVE, what is this? FPX. Oh, this is what someone was talking about this earlier. FPX? That's what someone was talking about earlier. Oh, okay, makes sense now. Somebody said like FPX or FCX in chat. FCX, is that a copper ticker? There's FPX, there's TLO, CNC. Okay, so let's go CNC. Canadian metal. Where is this? Here we go. Not interested in this. Okay, what's next? TLO. So pretty much like, oh God, this is just like random pairings. Oops, wait, what is this? FPX, I think I typed FBX. No, FPX Nickel Corp, here we go. And if you just type nickel, you get nickel's futures. Okay, so just nickel's futures. Nickel one, this is what we're gonna be looking at, just nickel futures. Nickel as a market whole, not as a you know, individual company basis. Okay, nickel. Nickel just looks like it's moving up over time. There's no trade to be had here. I don't even think I'm going to be looking at this, but no trades to be had on nickel. Nickel one. And then, you know, if there was a trade, it would simply be a short on. This is where it would be right now. So you'd be looking to, okay, fine. So you're looking to break that. There's nothing here. It looks like it's just going to continuously move up right now. We'll just stay away from it. And now we're on to Tesla. Tesla. I have an old chart here. We're just, oh, you know what? This is an old chart. This is as old as bones. So this chart, back when I used green and yellow, would have been from 2016. 2016. So this chart is as old as bones. So this is like a good example of Tesla. So this would have been like, this is like a 5-year-old chart. It might be newer, it might be like 3 or 4 years, but it would have been prior to this because I wouldn't have kept this line here. So yeah, price gets hit there. This was target for the future. Target gets hit there. Back test this here. Moves above trend there. Again, this chart is old as bones, but like, yeah, those would have been levels from Tesla. Same with here. Like you're talking about like analyzing Tesla stock as a fundamental. Like, what do you like? Your professors would hate me because you can just go to Tesla and say like, oh, this is pretty like boneheadedly simple. Back in March 20, if it just keeps this trend, it's just going to keep moving up, right? It keeps that trend and breaks this range right here, it's going to keep moving up. So that's the range holding the coin back. That's the trend keeping it up. Breaks over that range, it's going to hit a new all-time high, right? And then it's going to make its own like pseudo range there, right? So you're going to have like a smaller time frame range, something like this, and you're going to have something like this right here. Oh, come on. You're gonna have like this right here, and as soon as it breaks out of this, it's gonna, you know, move up again as long as it holds trend, and it does, right? So like your professors or whatever, if they're telling you like go study the fundamental analysis of coin, probably and in your dropout application. No, I'm completely kidding. Don't do that. That's just like a joke, but it's just like it's all technical analysis, man. It's not you know the same thing would have been here. Break this trend, you know, start a new accumulation cycle type of thing. As long as you hold this trend, you're in good standings. And then you would have been trying to break over this right here. So as soon as you start breaking over this, you're moving up again, and there it is right there. So now you just have to cycle through this, a very common future trading stuff, just an accumulation cycle. It holds a trend that we've had as old as bones back from March. You could just long right here. There you go. There's your Tesla stock, and they talk about fundamental analysis and this stuff like that. It's all dog shit. It's all crap. It doesn't do anything. Apparently, we're teach that there are so many crucial factors like information, private info, equity, debt ratio, and so on that value the price. No, man. I hate to break it to you, and your professors would hate me because I would debunk their entire careers in like seconds. Like I would just show them this chart and be like, here, let me walk you through this. And then they would say, oh, well, of course, they had a news release. Well, then how come I can see that news release in this moment? How come I can see that news release from the, like, what am I, a fortune teller? How come in like October I can see what was smart to buy in November? I'm a fortune teller. I'm a cleric. Chart cleric, that's my new name, right? So your teachers would hate me because it would be like the stuff they're teaching you in financial school is so boneheadedly useless. Again, you know, maybe it's time to fill on that refund form. I'm kidding. Again, education is key. I went to school for 11 years, university, architecture, double majors, studied for my master's in architecture, computer science, computer engineering. I have a billion years of university, and the best thing about university is that it teaches you how to think. It teaches you as a human being how to think. That's the greatest tool it gives us, not a specific education in one field, but it gives you the ability to think, and it teaches you how to be an evolved human being. So don't drop university, but maybe just, you know, take their teachings with a grain of salt, because you know, these archaic brick and mortar systems that are put in place are going to be broken by people like me in the future. So yeah, hopefully that helps, Thomas, and to look at things with a bit of a raised eyebrow, maybe when they're telling you to look at pricing and things like that. It's a little inflatious, right? Hey guys, we made it through our commodities list today. Yes, right on. We only have one more list to go through, stocks, and then we can actually get things started. So this is pretty hype. Kudos to you, man. I will remember. Yeah, and it's not that what they're teaching you is not valuable. It's just, you know, maybe that would be good if you wanted to be a banker, for example, because it would give you good things to research, to talk to your clients about. Maybe it would be good things that you could, you know, if somebody's coming to you and they want to invest and you're a banker, and you'd have kind of these good points to talk about with clients. And then you can say, oh, well, the news articles are this, so, you know, I think it might be moving up. And, you know, if there's a news release, it probably is going to move up. But I mean, you know, these companies, they're propped up at certain prices, like by people like me, who companies like Tesla hire people like me to prop the price to make the breakouts happen, so that when they release a news article, they have their shareholder requiems that they hit, right? Like the promises they make to shareholders who fund their company, the people who actually fund Elon Musk. You know, back in Tesla is maybe not as strong, and even Tesla has, you know, billions of dollars in shareholders. So you know, in order for shareholders to, didn't Elon Musk sell a bunch of his company? Didn't he used to own like 99% or something? I don't know, I could be thinking of somebody else, but didn't he own like 99%, and then he sold a bunch of it? Didn't he sell like 50% or more of his company so that he wasn't the public shareholder anymore? Well, I guarantee you that the billions of dollars that flowed through, they had someone like me saying, okay, here's the next ladder point here, and then the next ladder point will be here in the chart right there, and then the next ladder point will be here in the chart. So then all they're doing is propping the ladder to break the trend, and then they're releasing the news like right here. And so aren't they just fabricating it anyways? Like, isn't that just the way this flows? That's the way the markets flow when it comes to these big companies, is they have a top trader like me go and help them set the chart up so that they can release the news article and it's set to have this big breakout. So then they go and sell massive shares of their company, and they say, well, we guarantee you the stock is going to rise 300%, and that's why you should give us that $500 million that we need to build this next spaceship, or 500 billion or whatever. So then it's a win-win for all of them, and the public pays for it, right? Like that's the flow of news releases. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a banker or something, I'm sure it's valuable, but yeah, maybe if you're going to be a day trader, just again, raise your eyebrow a bit when they tell you these things. Good day. Future of Trading premiered like 30 minutes ago, by the way. Live stream and Future of Trading premiering at the same time. No, I don't. I sign NDAs, Thomas. I don't. Maybe in like 10 or 20 years when those are all up and I write a book. But then it's like gentleman's agreement, right? Why would why would I talk about the companies that I work with unless I hated them? And I don't hate any companies that I work with. So not only can I not because I sign NDAs, but then I wouldn't also on top of that, just because it's like, well, it's a kind of gentleman's agreement, right? Like a couple gentlemen at the lunch table. Why would you talk about that? There's no value that can come out of sharing that information. So why would I? But when I write a book, I'll elaborate on the pieces that I feel are, you know, if I ever write a book one day, maybe if things go the way I want them to, I'll write a book one day. And then I can talk about some other things that I haven't talked about, right? Just a gentleman's agreement. Don't spoil lunch. You know what I mean? You don't, soup's about to come out and it's hot. You don't chase people away from the table. You let everybody eat. Unless there's roaches in the kitchen, then you want to tell the people. And if there's roaches in the kitchen, then, you know, you tell people. Bit of insider saying, are there roaches in the kitchen? Yes, no, no. Okay, we can eat. There is? Okay, let's talk. Day trader lingo. Probably significant lawsuit. Probably not a lawsuit, but you know. Definitely consequences. Not a lawsuit, I don't think, but consequences. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We covered a lot of ground today. We finished our chart. We did a lot of kind of whatever talk. I'm going to go back to BTC for a moment, just kind of check out what it's doing before I get off here. Yeah, BTC is doing its thing. It's still moving up after it hit its level here. So yeah, we're still looking to see if it can test one of 3 levels. Ooh, that would be so cool, dude. Releasing a book in the Middle East, that would be super cool. That'd be awesome, like multi-continental book release one day. That would be super cool. I don't know how many people would buy it, but I guess like if I make a story for myself, if I keep doing what I'm doing and I make a pretty cool story, then maybe it might have some, you know, drama factors and additional pull that would get people's attention. The guy who broke the markets, right? I'll be like Snowden, I'll have to disappear. Hey, Kruller, man. No problem. See you on the next stream as well, Kruller. Going to be on Monday. What's Ethereum doing? How is it reacting to this? It's pulling back too, right? Yeah, it pulled back too. Same as Bitcoin, 1-to-1, same move. Back test at its range, 1-to-1, same thing. Yeah, see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this live stream video. It's good for the analytics, helps us grow, get towards our blueprint goal of 50,000 people. Yeah, 50K subs, and we put out blueprint. And don't miss tomorrow, because there's 2 massive releases coming out tomorrow. So Saturday releases are like a big deal around here, around these parts. Tomorrow's going to be no exception. Showdown at noon, as they say in Western. So yeah, make sure you guys catch tomorrow because it's a big day. So, okay, see y'all later.